Hello.
Welcome back to episode 3, season 3. Woo!
Crazy. We're already here.
I know. It's like, I forgot how much it was to record every week.
Yeah.
It's good though, because it makes us have to have time to hang out and catch up.
Exactly.
Life is just so busy at the moment. I feel like this time of year is like that though, because it's on the way to Christmas and craziness, and it's coming into summer, which I think in Australia and everything gets a bit more busy, when it gets a bit warmer.
Oh, 100%.
Although it's been cold and then hot and then freezing and then boiling.
Yeah, but I think it's just the change in time, daylight savings. That's the mood changer.
Yeah, and I feel like I still haven't settled into it. It still takes me so long to get to sleep, so much later, because the hour changed. I really feel this year and last year, it's like what's that called? The aeroplane sickness?
Motion sickness?
No, when you come jet lag.
Airplane sickness. Wild. Yeah, no, I think it's hit a lot of people really hard this year.
Yeah. And because the clocks, everyone's clock for me is my Apple Watch and my phone and my computer, and everything changes automatically. So when it was daylight savings, I didn't even realize, and I saw on Adele Marie's, because I thought it was a long weekend, so I thought Sunday was Saturday, so I thought daylight savings was starting the next day. And I looked at her story and I was like, how is Franklin messed up from the daylight savings? It hasn't happened yet. And then I realized, because everything just changed. So yeah.
That's why you need a physical clock in your lives somewhere.
Yes. Yeah.
Old school.
It does help. And I also used to love not changing the clock and then being it's okay. It looks like it's 8 o'clock, but it's actually 7 o'clock. Woo.
Yeah, but that happens next time.
I know. But now it would be oh, my clock's right again. Yes.
Yeah, it's like my car.
Exactly. And then every time Jackson gets in my car, he's I have to change it and make it correct. And I'm I would just leave that all the time, never change it.
Yeah. I haven't changed mine yet.
Because I just learn what it should be. And then...
Same. And then eventually it's right again.
Exactly. So, I don't know. If you're feeling a bit out of whack, we're right there with you. I don't know, yesterday was a crazy day for me. I just was not, I don't know, maybe something was in retrograde in the sky, because I just wasn't feeling it.
I saw something, it was a post, and it was when's Mercury gonna get out of the microwave, because I'm done.
Literally. That is my understanding of astrology, first off, and yes, my interpretation of it. Damn, I was there's something up in that microwave up there.
Oh, I can't.
Stop. We need a break.
Literally.
Anyway. You good?
I saw another thing the other day on TikTok, and it was God sends his hardest battles to his strongest soldiers or something, and this girl's when did I enlist in the war?
Literally. What? I
was I feel you, babe.
And I'm trying to retrain my whole mindset, and I finished that 101 essays book.
Oh yeah.
And I was wow, I'm a whole new person. And I feel Ariel, it's a whole new world. No, that's Aladdin, isn't it?
I mean, I didn't pick it up, so yeah.
Anyway, I was wow, my whole mindset has changed, and I totally get the whole point of life, and how to be an emotionally healthy person, and this and that, and then as soon as I close the book, I forget.
Same.
So
yeah, I've read it and I don't remember what it's about.
It's really good. I really liked it. I actually bought a physical book, but I finished reading the Kindle version, so now I could tell because we share an account, so you can see all the highlights from the other people. So Dani was reading it, and she'd seen I highlighted so much in that, and then at about 30% there was just no highlight, because I stopped reading it on the Kindle.
And I didn't highlight anything.
And then when I started reading it, I was oh, that's nice, this is exactly where I finished up. And then now the whole book's highlighted, so, and now I'm going through and then highlighting in my physical book, so I don't have time to reread it, so I'm just in the morning, so I just highlight a few things, be oh, and then it's a good reminder for me to be hey, that was a good thing. Sometimes I'm like, why did I highlight that? Maybe that was a mistake.
Yeah, Danny highlighted that one. The useless sentence that means nothing.
I love when you said, like, so Danny said, especially in, like, storybooks, you said, like, you look forward to seeing, like, you see a highlight in the page and you're like, oh, this must be a good sentence coming up. And then you're like, although, to be honest, sometimes I get to it and I'm not really sure why you highlighted it. And I was like, it just made sense to me in the moment.
And I'm like, I don't understand.
Why is that significant?
Yeah.
Why did she feel the need to highlight that?
Literally.
I don't know.
No, I do remember that.
Yeah, and I was like, ouch. But at least sometimes you think it's good.
Yeah. I haven't read a book like that in ages, actually.
Really?
Well, because I'm still reading the 24-Hour Cafe.
Oh, it's such a long book, and it's really not that good.
Yeah, I'm not
I'm not
vibing it, which is why I haven't finished it yet.
No,
but...
you should just read something else. Like, don't waste your time anymore. I think you'll like The Kiss Quotient. That's on there. And I want to get They Both Die at the End. I want to read that next because I'm kind of ready for a cry.
Fair.
Because my best friend Kira said, don't read it. Like, it's too...
emotional.
Yeah, and I was like, she's like, you cannot handle it, Jess. And I was like, okay. So then I didn't, and then we were talking about A Little Life. Have you heard of that book? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's another TikTok viral book, and it's really thick. And it follows, like, all I knew from TikTok was the story of, like, 4 high school dude friends and, like, their life. And there's just TikToks of people just bawling their eyes out right while they're reading it. And I was like, that sounds interesting. And then I told Kira about it, and she was like, do not read that one. And I was like, why? And she's like, just Google the synopsis. So I Googled it, and I was like, nope, I could not handle that. I would have emotional problems because I just believe everything I read is actually happening to my life. And then she said, if you really just want to cry, just read They Both Die at the End. So
okay, I feel that.
So we'll see. I might not actually read it, but maybe.
Just wait and see.
Yeah, the book I'm reading now, 11/22/63, I think is what it's called, by Stephen King. That one is long. Like, it is a long book. Like, sometimes I'll read for the same amount of time in a different book and I'll be like, hey, I read 5% of my book today. And I'll read that one, it's like, I'm still on 1%. I still haven't.
Yeah, I feel you.
Anyway, it's a good story. So, today, what are we talking about?
Yeah, let's get into it, hey? You guys,
welcome to our book club.
Yeah, I was going to say, you guys listening for our book recommendations or?
Anyway, life updates, it's fine. We're all friends here.
100%. Today's chat is...
We wanted to talk about, like, owning what you want and what that's been like for us and where we're at with that, and just that whole concept of, like, I don't know, like, figuring out what that is and how to go after it despite, like, the challenges, I would say.
I vibe that, yeah.
So how do you know what you want in life? Just throw you straight under the bus.
Literally. You're like, here.
Yeah.
Go swim.
Take it from here. Danny wants to lead us on this chat.
Says Jess, who came up with it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Look, a really interesting thing about this that I recognize between you and I is that we're very different in where we're at with this. And I think, to be honest with you, I'm probably more behind the 8 ball than you are. I don't think I have fully worked out or tackled as many challenges with knowing what you want and going after it, and as much as you have. Like, I mean, look, there are things that I've definitely pursued and I recognize that are non-negotiables for me and stuff that I really want to pursue, but there are definitely other areas in my life where I'm like, it's too hard to think about right now. I'm just going to go with the status quo. I
don't know if that's not how I look at it as an outsider looking at you and comparing it to me. I feel like, okay, yes, I'm very, like, gung-ho, and I'm like, this is what I want and this is the only thing that can make me happy ever, and then I try it and I'm like, oh no. abort, and then I have to try something else, and then I get my sights set on something and I'm like, this is it, and then sometimes there's too much and I get, like, very overwhelmed. And I think something I appreciate in, like, watching how you go through or having going through life is that you see opportunities and you look for what could, benefit you from them, and like how they could serve you, rather than like appreciating the lessons you can learn from things rather than constantly, like, already wanting to know the answer. Does that make sense? Like, so maybe from your perspective you feel like everything you just said, but but for me it's like, thank you, I feel like Yeah, like I do think because I'm very like strong-willed and my emotions are like 100% or nothing. Actually, no, they're never nothing. They're always just 100%. Like I feel things so hard. Like today, I was out just getting petrol and like I couldn't think because I was so hungry, and it consumed my whole being. Like when I get hungry, I get like I can't think or like it just, everything is like 110%. So like I love really hard, I also like hurt really hard, and everything is just 100%. I overthink about things, and I'm trying to, you know, deal with all this stuff and like learn how to basically make life not easier for myself, but how to, you know, like maximize my experience of life by managing things well. But man, like I like think this is what I want, and then all of a sudden I need to change everything to make it exactly that. And it's like, because my mind can change in like a split second, sometimes my life feels like it's just, you know, like in a washing machine, just like being tossed around like a bowl of salad.
A bowl of salad.
You know?
What an analogy.
Thank you.
Tossed around like a bowl of salad. I feel that.
I should put it on a shirt.
You should put it on a shirt. With the two.
Yeah.
And the lettuce up in the air.
Yeah, literally. And then on the like you can write love and career and like lifestyle written on the pieces of lettuce. Right? I don't know.
That's wild. Yeah, look, I feel that for you. You're not wrong. You are a bit like that. And I'm definitely not like that.
No. Like when that book, the 101 Essays, says, when you're feeling emotionally charged, the best thing you can do is comfort yourself and not make rash decisions. Like that is like, I really have to work at it. Because I'm like, everything is the worst and everything seems like it's, but it's fine, but it's good because I charge after what I want pretty intensely, but sometimes if I feel like it hasn't happened yet, or I haven't achieved it yet, or hasn't come yet, like I get down, and it can sort of be like a very emotional roller coaster. So it's like important that I learn how to manage that.
Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm quite different to you, because I think everything through like 1,000 times before I make any sort of decision or move. And hello, Simba. If you're only listening to this, you can just hear the panting, but if you're watching the YouTube, you can kind of see him in the thing.
Simba.
So yeah, hi. Really ironic because I had my door closed. I thought it was a ghost. No, I'm joking.
Yeah, but you get those like,
I do, yeah.
I'm trying to be more open to the universe, and
okay, baby, it's all right. We don't need to pant into the mic.
I'm trying to like be more open to signs and stuff. And like I asked the universe for a sign yesterday, and we're still waiting.
Fair.
But it's fine. I have faith, because this actually relates to this conversation. And I don't know. Are you got a thought to finish, or?
Oh, I don't know.
Like, so I'm very like, this is what I want, right? So like I'm currently on the path of trying to take ownership for what I want my life to be like, and figure it out, and like go against very much what the status quo is, and kind of change up what I've been working towards as well for like my entire life, and just be like, hey, I actually changed my mind and this is what I want to try now. But there's an opportunity that I need to turn down to do that, and that's really hard. It's like really hard to turn down opportunities, and it's been like eating me up inside, because it's like I can see, hey, there would be good things about this other opportunity that, and it's also like sometimes I'm like, how do I know what I want?
Yeah, that's what I kind of question, because I'm like, how do I know, where I want to live in the future, and is this the career I want to take? Like, is the next career job in my current job, is that what I want to do, or is there like a slight jump off to the side that I'd like to pursue more, or you know what I mean? Like, and I just kind of be like, I don't know. And I kind of just stay in the status quo because it's too hard to think about.
But it's like hard because you can't do everything.
No.
And there's a lot that I want to try, and like sometimes I think, wow, there's so many different things that would make me happy, but also it's like, which one should I don't know, it's hard to make those big decisions, and it's a bit easier for me, I think, because I'm already like kind of settled down in a relationship, so there's like all the time two people to sort of discuss things. But then that's also been like a roadblock, because sometimes I feel like I've almost been like, I want the opposite of what you want, just to make sure that I don't want it, so that I'm choosing for myself and not deciding based on someone else. But it's good because we've come to the same conclusion and we want the same things. But just because like you don't want something doesn't mean you're not sad about the opportunities that you could miss or would miss, or like, because there's good and bad in everything, right?
100%.
And so I feel like I want to be somebody that I'm trying to be somebody that chooses something for the bad, and that sounds a bit weird, but obviously you want the good. So if you're willing to have the quote unquote bad or more challenging or like, you know, less exciting parts of something, that's a really good sign that's something you actually want. Because a lot of the time it's like, oh, like that other opportunity, well, there's this and this and this that I think would be really cool and I would really like it. But when I think about all the stuff that I don't really necessarily align with or want from that opportunity, it's like, ugh, like I really don't want to do that.
Yeah.
But it's very hard to commit. So like while in my mind I've made a decision, I'm yet to like do anything about it, because I'm so scared of making a mistake, of choosing wrong, losing a great opportunity or regretting it. And this is also stupid, because even Jackson said, what have you regretted in your life so far? I could not think of one thing that I was like, one decision that I was like, because even stuff that I'm like, oh, I would maybe go back and do it differently, I don't regret it because I didn't know any better back then. So I don't think, oh, I wish I didn't do that, because it was like, well, that's what I needed to do then. So he was, and also with the opportunity thing, like, is it a lost opportunity if you never wanted it? And if you like, if I take that other opportunity, then all the things that I want more potentially, or I think I want more, then I'm like, I can't have those, because you can't have everything.
Yeah, really got to weigh up the costs and benefits of each, I suppose. And I mean, I think the thing that gets me in all of this is I worry too much about what other people will think, and that weighs so heavily in, or it has in the past weighed really heavily in my decision making, and I am getting better at it, I'll admit that, but I have a long way to go. Do you know what I mean? Because I do, and I don't think that it's a bad thing. Just close his mouth.
You don't.
I don't think it's a bad thing, because I really like the people that I value their opinion. Like, I do ask for, you know, their thoughts on it and everything like that, but I really shouldn't just let the opinion of any person next door, or, you know what I mean, any random person, like, impact. Yeah, like, I'm so worried about just what
I totally
anyone
get
thinks
that.
and I think that's just what the societal pressures of, I don't know what.
Yeah, no, I get that, especially when you've been on like a certain path for so long as well.
Yeah.
So it's like hard to then change the trajectory. Like for me, the thing that I'm going to be potentially saying no to, like, this is the first time in my life where, you know, I've finished uni and I finished school, and it's like, wow, I don't know what's coming next. But if I said yes to this opportunity, I would know, you know. It's very structured. It's a very clear path for a couple years, good, you know, like job opportunity. But I don't want that. I'm almost craving something different. But I think it's interesting what you said about needing, like, you consult the important people for their opinion. And I think that's great. But even then, sometimes the people's opinions that you care about still don't align with your own.
Correct, yeah.
And that is when it's even harder, because I definitely care what other people think. And it would be so much easier if I was choosing the, hi, I'm a solicitor, you know, like I think about meeting people and they say, what do you do? And I'm like, well, it would be so much easier if I just said, hi, I'm a solicitor, but I'm choosing like not to do that. So it's like, what do you say? I'm not sure. I'm still figuring it out.
But you know what's so interesting about that is the fact that I remember, like, I've gone to networking events and I don't even know what you call them, but events where maybe personal development sort of things, and it's really important, and I think we all get trapped in this, that we define ourselves based on our jobs.
Yes.
Like, people say, tell me something about you, and you automatically go to what you do for a job. And I understand that, because it is like work is such a big part of all our lives, but it also makes me sad at the same time because I'm like, I'm not my work.
Yeah, I get that. And I totally feel like it's always stumped me because I never ever automatically have really sort of, I guess I have said what I do, but because I've always been a student, hasn't really been my job. But
Yeah.
the more that I'm now, I don't really, it's sort of like the easy way out. But when I ask people, it's like kind of like the last thing that I want to know about them. But maybe that's just because I've been a student for so long and I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
student's boring. But you're right, like why? But it's also because people spend so much time at work.
Yeah, 100%.
And I have so many interests and I have so many things I want to pursue. And it's like, you know, if you have to be, including travel and work, you know, out like, I don't know, 12 hours a day, when do you have time to do the other things?
Yeah.
And that's like, they always say like work becomes your life. But I've never really aligned with that. You know, I don't really want to have the only thing I talk about or the only thing I think about or the only people I deal with. I don't want my whole life to be a job.
No.
And like, that's fine if that's, like, a lot of people find fulfillment in that. I just know I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, the whole like, was there a solution there? Like, how do you then introduce yourself when people say, tell me
I
something about you?
know. That's right. I don't know.
And like, I don't know, it's like, because, you know, when you're younger at uni, it's like, say something interesting about you when you do those icebreakers.
Yeah.
But as soon as you get older, it's like, nobody cares that, you know, I like to sing. Like,
Yeah.
but, yeah, it's like, I don't know. And also, I think, because, not in a bad way, but everyone comes to a situation with an agenda, and a lot of people, like, you know, most interactions are transactional.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so when you meet someone, it's interesting to know what they do because you see, like, is there a way we could mutually... But then, I don't know, yeah, I wish other skills were valued more.
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard. I think, like, we've directed this chat about work primarily, but I mean, it can apply to like so many things.
Oh, true.
Like where you want to travel, who you want to date,
Yeah,
whether you want kids, whether you want to get
Mm.
married, what car you want to buy, like your dream car, like, you know what I mean, like it
true.
can be anything and everything, like what hobbies you want to pursue, like how many people, and this probably, the statistic would be really high and it's quite sad, but how many people like don't ever pursue something that they truly want because of judgment, or they don't back themselves enough, or they're like, I don't have enough time, or I don't have enough money, or, you know what I mean,
and like all those things are real.
Yes, they are.
It like, but at the same time, like, I saw a reel today, reel, and it was that Tony Robbins guy, and he was like, if you say all that stuff, like, I don't have time, I don't have enough money, blah blah blah, he basically said, if you want the island, you got to sell the boats. Because if you can still get away, you're never going to own the island because you have an escape plan. But when people are faced with survival or succeeding, they often succeed. And I have not tried this. I don't know. Maybe that's right or not. But I do think, like, sometimes it just seems so unattainable. And there's been so many times for me in my life where I've been that person that hasn't pursued something because I was scared of judgment, scared of what people thought, didn't trust my own gut instinct. I felt like I didn't have enough time, or I didn't have the resources. And that's happened to me countless of times. So I think it's probably happened to everybody.
Of course.
And that's why, like, I think I'm in a space where I'm so desperate to really try and do what I want to do and achieve what I want to achieve. But man, it's an up and down roller coaster, because sometimes you're so empowered and you're so like, I got this, like, this is great. And then other times it's like, oh, I'm still grinding.
Literally.
And it's hard, and it can be, I don't know, like, what's that word? Hard.
Hard.
It can be challenging.
Yeah.
And like demotivating, and it's hard to own what you want and do that despite the odds, especially when it feels less safe.
Definitely.
But I did hear something, and somewhere, I don't know, it was like, you've got to make your own choices in life, and you don't feel like your life is a life better lived, and you stick to your actions and commitments more if you feel like you've decided for yourself. And this is something that I always used to palm into other people's hands because I was like, I don't know. And then growing up and realizing that nobody knows, I was like, what?
What?
I thought, like, I always thought that I was the one that wasn't in the know.
Yeah.
I was the one that had no idea and everyone else was clued in and they all knew what was going on. And now I know that, you know, there's not really a right or wrong. And if you reframe your mind to be like, mistakes are lessons, and like rush for the mistakes because that's how you learn quicker, and like embrace, like, you know, nothing is lost, things are only gained. And it's all things that I'm trying to learn, but it doesn't just happen.
No, it takes time. It's definitely a change of mindset that I think we're both working on in different capacities.
Yes, and I like that you said it could be all areas of life, because that is very true. And I feel like societal pressures and fear of judgment and all that kind of stuff, changing your direction in your mind, those things happen in every area of life. And feeling like you can't change because you, like, you know, you already decided something, and then I always used to worry, like, what if I change my mind and tell these people I want something different? And like, I'm admitting defeat or admitting I was wrong. But that's so silly, because it's better to just stick on the path that you said you're going to, because you don't want to. And nobody cares.
no one cares at all. Well, and everyone will give you their 2 cents worth. But.
Oh, exactly. And the more that I understand that people's judgment is based on their own, or their critical thoughts is based on something internal, the more I actually see that in my own critical thoughts of, you know, external, because, you know, I think we all have them because we're all just trying to navigate life, and I'm aspiring to, you know, not have them. But I see something, and sometimes the first thought is, oh my god, I can't believe they would do that. And that happened to me the other day. I was looking at Facebook and I saw someone that I used to go to high school with do something, and I was like, wow, I would never do that. And then I was like, why would I never do that? And I was like, maybe I feel like, and like I got to the root of it, and I was like, oh, that's actually on me.
Yeah.
So that was interesting.
I mean, yeah, we're all guilty of it.
But I think it's a noble pursuit to try and live the life that is, like, to own what you want unapologetically. And you deserve that, and you deserve to make the decisions that you want and live the life you want, because in the end, we're all just like on this floating rock that's like spinning really fast and then rotating around a big burning ball of gas that's like the tiniest little speck in like the whole universe. So I mean, and everyone dies, so you may as well live your life.
Wow.
Sorry. Too harsh.
You're not wrong, but goodness me, that was harsh.
Well, I just mean, like, you shouldn't care, and you should do what you want, because in the end, like, it's not like, you may as well just do what you want.
Yeah.
Sorry for that noise. Simba jumped down and he scared me. That's why I went, ooh, because if you're not watching the video, you wouldn't know. Anyway.
Yeah, but I think the motivator for me is the fact that just recognizing that I deserve to live the life I want, and to, you know, and to own what I want unapologetically, because it's for me.
Exactly. Yeah. And for me, it's just the raging emotions that guide my every decision and thought. So
at least there's a balance between us.
Yeah. I force myself to see that I'm deserving. It's like excruciating to not listen to myself, because I just make myself miserable. It's like we're working on it.
It's a work in progress, guys.
Yes, but just don't feel alone if this is you, and try to have a think about what you actually want, because that's like the first step, and that took me like probably like 2-3 years to figure out.
Yeah.
When I started being like, what do I want? What do I have fun doing? And like, what do I enjoy? Like, that question took me a long time to figure out, because if you've been like just grinding and not thinking about it, it's like, it can take time to like tune back in. So take the time.
Definitely. And take time to recognize that, you know, you may have been lying to yourself about what you want, because I definitely have.
Oh, me too. And
that takes time to recognize, because you can be like, yeah, I know what I want, I'm doing it, and then you actually think about it, you're like, yeah, look, I've definitely been lying to myself.
Yes. And also sometimes it just changes.
Yeah.
So that's another thing. So you might have been working really hard and not reassessing and reevaluating. So did that stop?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'll wait till you sit down, actually. Sorry, everybody, the camera stopped right at the end. It's not even an intermission, because we're about to wrap up.
I know. I'm like literally right now. Well, unless you have more to say. I'm good.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks for joining us for another episode.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so much for listening in.
There's absolutely no pressure to do this, but if you're happy to share the podcast with your friends or on your socials and tag us at Pierced Off Pod, that would be amazing.
You can also leave us a stellar 5-star review on whatever platform you're listening on if you're feeling extra motivated today. It really does help us out so much, but ultimately, we are just beyond grateful that you're here.
You're also more than welcome to come and hang out with us on our other socials. All of our links are in the description.